While MicroStation's toolboxes are well organized, it's often helpful to create custom toolboxes containing your most used tools. The process is quite simple, and the new toolboxes, since they are created in the DesignLib file, can also be accessed by other users and other files. Let's build a toolbox together. So first, make sure you're in your DesignLib file. I'm in my mydesignlib.ggn lib file. That's important because, again, you want to propagate the toolboxes to all drawing files. And then we go to Workspace and Customize. Make sure you're in the Tools tab, where you'll see two panes. And on the left are the settings for custom toolboxes, while on the right are the various MicroStation tools and menu tasks. Now, we're interested in the left pane for this exercise, and there are two items, User Tools and Application Tools. If you expand User Tools, you'll see your DesignLib file displayed, and if you expand the Application Tools, you'll see two items. First one, Vector Icon, we're not interested in this Level 2 course, but we are interested in the MicroStation item. So expand that, and if you scroll down, you'll see that every toolbox is represented here. And if you expand one of the toolboxes, you'll see all of the tools in that particular toolbox. Now, these, of course, are MicroStation's default tools, and we're going to borrow from some of those in a moment. Now, the V8 icon here is gray rather than blue as above, because the tools you see originate in the ustation.designlib file, and you cannot access them unless that DesignLib is open. More on this later. Let's create a new toolbox in the User Tools section. So we're going to go to your DesignLib file, right-click it, and select New Toolbox. The new toolbox pops into place. I'm going to call mine Peter's Tools. Enter. That's my toolbox, and right now there's nothing in it, of course. So I need to add some tools to my new toolbox. And I do this by looking at the MicroStation default tools and selecting one and copying and pasting into my toolbox. So for example, I'm going to minimize that one. Going down to find the Manipulate toolbox. Here's Manipulate, expand that, and let's choose the Copy tool. So I'm going to right-click that tool, click on Copy, go right back to the top to my toolbox, right-click that, and paste. Now the Copy tool is pasted into my toolbox. Yeah, so far so good, but I like to see my toolbox. So I'm going to go to my toolbox name, right-click that, and click on Open Toolbox. The toolbox has popped into place over here, and I simply drag it into place. And all it contains, of course, is that single Copy tool. So let's add some more. Into the list again. Let's go down to Dimension Tools, and we'll select Linear Dimensions. So right-click that, copy, back up to my toolbox, right-click the toolbox, paste. Now I have two tools, both of which are now showing in my toolbox, and I will drag that sideways to expand it horizontally, and so on. Now you can add as many tools as you wish to your custom toolboxes, and the position of each tool in the toolbox can be changed by clicking and dragging with the cursor. In other words, if I wanted the Linear Dimensions tool to be ahead of the Copy tool, I simply drag it upwards, and it displaces the Copy, which moves downwards. The toolbox reflects that change. Now you may have noticed the Tool Container item at the bottom of the page here. Let me click on the Copy tool to see more information. This is the command data for that particular tool. And this information can be edited, but I advise against it under most conditions. It's very important not to change the key in text, which is the actual key in that runs the tool. Now, so far so good. Let's just collapse that for the moment. And I'm going to collapse that too. Now, since this toolbox has been made inside my DesignLib file, I should be able to access the toolbox from any other design file. Let's find out if we can. I'm going to open up a regular design file. We'll dismiss that box since we don't need it. the toolbox is still in place, but let me dismiss it. And normally, when you open the design file, you would need to go to Tools and Toolboxes and find your custom toolbox, which will be in the list here. There it is, Peter's Tools, and it's a custom toolbox. Click on that, my toolbox opens. Now I can dock this anywhere I want, for example, and have a whole series of very specific tools that I use a lot, nicely available for use at any time. So as always, experiment, add more tools to your toolbox, and if you specialize in certain drafting applications, then customize your toolbox to that end. Now I'm going to go back to my DesignLib file and open up the customization box again. And just want to show you one other thing. If you click on Utilities and go to Element Templates, then you'll see the Element Templates settings box on the screen. Now this is exactly the same as the one in the previous videos where we generated element templates. So this is another location where you can generate templates. And in fact, if we expand my DesignLib file, you'll see the element templates that we developed earlier. So this is just another location, typical MicroStation duplication, but probably a more centralized location. And as you can see, you can edit the templates here exactly the same way. So as always, please practice. Make sure you fully understand the toolbox creation process. And you don't need to make just one toolbox. You can make as many as you wish.